makes no difference what you're going through. You're gonna make it. God's gonna see you through. Hold your head up. Put a smile on your face. This is another test. It won't last always. So get ready. Get ready for your blessing. For your blessing. Get ready. Get ready for your miracle. For your miracle. Get ready for your blessing. For your blessing. Get ready for your miracle. For your miracle. Listen, I know you've been hurting deep down inside. Let me encourage you. It's gonna be alright. Troubles and trials come to make you strong. Keep on believing. You keep holding on. Get ready. Get ready for your blessing. For your blessing. Get ready. Get ready for your miracle. For your miracle. Get ready for your blessing. For your blessing. Get ready. Get ready for your miracle. For your miracle. Thank you, Jesus. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. Everybody say that with me. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. If you really believe it, God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. Come on. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. Oh, yeah, yeah. Come on. God's got a blessing. 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 With your name on it. With your name on it. God's got a blessing. 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 With your name on it. 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 How many know God's got a blessing with your name on it? Come on. Sing this with me. Come on, say. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. Everybody. God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. You say God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. Come on. Everybody say God's got a blessing. God's got a blessing. Come on, Jay. God's got a blessing. 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 With your name on it. With your name on it. God's got a blessing. 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 How about you? With my name on it. 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 What did you say? With my name on it. 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 God bless you. Thank you for coming. And I love you.
K Classic, K Classic, K Classic.
Corner music.
Hold up, wait up, you can't stop this here. You can't top this tier. Work too hard, my God, I'ma play my card. I'ma leave your atmosphere. It's so toxic, and I hear your gossip. I'm aware they plotting, but I got no option. And I can't be stopped, I'ma keep on walking. And my power, and my purpose, and that backbiting so worthless. And my faith on, and it's working. I'm one of one, and I'm certain that I won the battle. It's over, we did it. I'm Silk, I'm C, I'm P, no limit. Can't stop it, it's me and Corin in the pocket. Got the plug in the socket.
They told you that you couldn't do it cause you're washed up. Ain't like them bad girls said you should get your sauce up. But I got this plan and you might not understand. I'ma go hard as I can, and I'm gonna be the song and brag on it. Go to the top, I'ma give it all I got. Might take a lot, but we ain't gonna ever stop. I do believe I'm something special. Can't take that from me. So you can say what you want, I go harder, stronger, be who I'm supposed to be. Cause I'm unstoppable, I get all the way in it. That's the way I was made and I'm up on my business. Cause I'm unstoppable, ain't no hoping and wishing. Say a prayer, catch a wave, then I go out and get it. Cause I can be what I want, try it if I want. Empowered by the king and he won't let me fall. Cause I'm unstoppable, nah, 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 he won't let me fall. Cause I'm unstoppable. I dream about it, I go get it, that's how I do it. Not in the stars, I'm not lucky, I just pray through it. Fall on my face and I might make mistakes, but I don't let it break me, cause I'm still on my way. I do believe I'm something special. Can't take that from me. So you can say what you want, I go harder, stronger, be who I'm supposed to be. Cause I'm unstoppable, I get all the way in it. That's the way I was made and I'm up on my business. Cause I'm unstoppable, ain't no hoping and wishing. Say a prayer, catch a wave, then I go out and get it. Cause I can be what I want, try it if I want. Empowered by the king and he won't let me fall. Cause I'm unstoppable, nah, 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 he won't let me fall. Cause I'm unstoppable. Come what may, I rest in his safety. Winds may blow, waves won't overtake me. Tears in my eyes, but I'm still gonna survive. Cause he's incredible, he's powerful, and I will rise from the bottom cause he's inside. Cause I'm unstoppable, I get all the way in it. That's the way I was made and I'm up on my business. Cause I'm unstoppable, ain't no hoping and wishing. Say a prayer, catch a wave, then I go out and get it. Cause I can be what I want, try it if I want. Empowered by the king and he won't let me fall. Cause I'm unstoppable, nah, 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 he won't let me fall. Cause I'm unstoppable, nah, 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 he won't let me fall. No, I'm unstoppable.
Yeah, I was happy just being myself. Yeah, I know who to call when I need help. I talk to God, I ain't talking to myself. But when I do that, now I'm back to feeling good again. Why they label me a hooligan? If you took an L, it feels so good. But I got God on my side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't wanna see anything that's not you. I won't even go, I don't care if that's rude, but I'm at it though. Yeah, I pray to God he never let me go. Yeah, you know how bad I get on my own. Yeah, driving in a V6, I don't need to take pics. I don't need a flex. Need God when I'm blessed, not just when I'm down. Wrote this for myself, can't do this alone, no. Yeah, I was happy just being myself. Yeah, I know who to call when I need help. I talk to God, I ain't talking to myself. But when I do that, now I'm back to feeling good again. Why they label me a hooligan? If you took an L, it feels so good. But I got God on my side. Yeah, yeah.
When I'm low and I need a lift, yeah, yeah. On my own, I won't make it here. I can't balance it. In the night I'm battling, but I talk to God again. Then I know just who I am. Yeah, I feel free when I'm just being myself. I remember 2018, almost drove off of the rails. I can see you in my dreams. It's a beautiful scene. Yeah, I have faith and just believe. I can feel it now. I'm here. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was happy just being myself. Yeah, I know who to call when I need help. I talk to God, I ain't talking to myself. But when I do that, now I'm back to feeling good again. Why they label me a hooligan? If you took an L, it feels so good.
You know what?
But I got God on my side.
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Sometimes I could be more honest than I'm gracious. Should be present, but I'm morphing in the future like a spaceship. Worry when I know that God will take care of my situations. I'm facing, I'm placing all of my trust in the one who made me. Location don't matter. I'm covered wherever I go. Chicago down to LA, even in New York, Ohio, Atlanta. My people prosper, and this is streets revival or renaissance, if you will. We recommend that you chill and goodwill, and that's real.
Yeah, I was happy just being myself.
Just be yourself.
Yeah, I know who to call when I need help.
I know to call when I need help.
God, I ain't talking to myself.
Last
When
time,
I
let's
do
do it one
that,
more time.
Now I'm back to feeling good again.
Hey,
Why they label me a hooligan?
hey,
If you took an elephant, so good again.
you know what?
But I got God on my side. Yeah.
Hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Do you got God on your side this morning? I know I do. Man, I just saw Bitcoin fire up as soon as I said that, even though this is what I'm looking at. So we won't dive directly into that immediately. But today's show topics are going to be fire. I guess I should introduce myself, huh? What's going on this morning, guys? This is your boy, Christian Israel, and you are tuned into Christ and Crypto in the Morning. This is a place where we not only talk about, obviously, Christ and crypto, but other financial news around the world, what's going on in the politics, and kind of addressing different issues that not only affect your pockets, but affect you spiritually and mentally. So we try to focus on all these things that tie in prophetically with the scriptures at the end of at every show. We are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. weekdays. I'm going to try doing a Saturday show, a little bit Friday tinfoil hat, Saturday scriptures, as we slowly get into this. I think I just got knocked out on my stop loss for my soul. Oh, nope, I did not. I wasn't sure if I was knocked out on my stop loss. I've been swinging Bitcoin this morning. A long short, gotten a long at 38.2, got out at 38.7, now in a short with 38.775 being my stop loss, coming back down to 38.4, and then I think we roll on up. I'm looking for some green. We got oil back below 100, and you guys know when oil begins to drop back, we look for equities to pop. You know what I'm saying. As Alex Diaz said, we going to ride that wave. Ride that wave. Good morning, Leo. Good morning, Bullish on XRP. And anybody else who comes on in here, man. Today's topics, we're going to adjust what happened. We're going to discuss what happened last Tuesday. What happened last Tuesday? Well, there was 18 minutes of trading that caused chaos in the nickel market. And ever since then, the nickel market, from my understanding, what I look today, has been shut down. It's been shut down. On hold, stopped. So how does that affect the rest of the market? And we're going to discuss that as well as our other TA things. Make sure you guys also jump in the chat, say hello, do the social media thing as you always do. My goal is 10 likes a show. I don't care if 1,000 people watch. 10 likes. I don't care. 20 years from now, 10 likes. That's it. Every single. I really should say 12 likes. Or should we say 7? God's perfect number. Anywhere. Let's just go 10. Nice even double-digit number. So let's go ahead and jump in those charts today and hit you the news and the charts and hit you with that intro. Let's get it. All right. As Matthew McConaughey says, since I'm down here in Texas, well, he's kind of in Austin, but close enough. We are about an hour and a half away from each other. And speaking of an hour and a half, the markets have not even been open for an hour and a half. It's only been open about 30 minutes in the equities market. So let's go ahead and check in what's going on with Bitcoin. We see trying to make some type of move. I might not get paid on my short. It might knock me out and continue to fire. Why? Because Bitcoin's sitting at $38,762 right now. Ethereum is wonderfully sitting at $22,538. You got BNB in the number 3 spot at 366.10. You got XRP sitting right there at 75.8, trying to break 76 cents. I think we will see that during the show because Bitcoin, yes, Bitcoin is definitely trying to break out right now. So my short was just stopped out. It was really tight. It was like a $75 move on either side. But now looks like we're back up to resistance at 38.5 or 38,850 is resistance. So we're trying to fire up to make it our way to 41K. Okay, speaking of, let's go ahead and go to the number 4 spot. Terra Luna sitting at 90.14. Still another rejection off $100. Everything is kind of hitting that super rejection point right now. Resistance, ready to break out. Like, we are ready. Like, I don't know if it might just happen on this show because Bitcoin is trying to move. We had a lot of pushing down. This is the week that I have been waiting for. I believe this is the week that we start pump into the second week of maybe April, and then I think it all comes down. But we'll see. We'll see. We just fully back tested Bitcoin's 2 at 38,900, and that's what we are testing right now. So you got Luna at 90.14, Solana right outside the top 5 at 80, and Cardano at number 7 at 79 cents. So that is where we are now. Should we do what we normally do? First off, make sure you guys go ahead and do the social media thing, like, subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell at the top so you guys can be notified. Let me go ahead and take these off. Notified when I go live, which is every day at 9 o'clock. We discussed this already. So also, New Creation Cap is the Twitter. Check out the all the other stuff. What do you got? The Telegram group. Yeah, New Creation Cronies Telegram group we got. Don't forget to jump in that, some old videos. So shout out to all my cronies in here. If you're one of my New Creation cronies, it's a free Telegram group going. There's about 100-something of us right now. And we just sit in there and throw that tinfoil hat on consistently. Man, I'm going to be really upset if I put my stop loss too short on my Bitcoin. I'm going to get upset. It didn't break the trend. It popped up. I got Monero here firing up, which we'll dump into in a second. So actually, let's just jump into it now. Wow. Chaos on the charts. Do you see what my chart looks like right now? This is just line here, line here, line here. And that's because as I do this, I don't want you to pay attention to everything. I want you to look at the time. See, that says March 13th, March 14th, March 15th. This is a 15-minute time frame. So I keep it real tight and real close because this is kind of how I'm trading, looking for the direction of where we're going, looking for patterns, right? And just kind of, there's a lot of patterns repeating itself. If you watch any TA channels, you really will see patterns in charts on different levels. Despite what people say, you kind of look at it and go, oh, okay, well, it's always done this. Does it do this time? And a lot of people like to say, well, this time is different. Is it really different? Is it really ever different? I don't think so. I think the charts tell the story. And if I take all of this crap, all of it, off the screen, and this is XRP, take it all off the screen and just simplify it. You see this pink line right here? Guys, that is your weekly pivot, right? So based on the weekly time frame, here's the strongest support or resistance, really your pivot point, is where things should turn around, right? When you pivot in basketball, you take a pivot, you keep one foot down, and you keep moving in a certain direction, around and around. You can't pick that up until you make a decision, right? And that's kind of what the pivot is here. You have your weekly pivot, which it is resisting on right now. So it's coming up, trying to find support and flip this spot. But in the meantime, on the weeklies, you're also getting your daily pivots. And what that is this. The orange line here, the R1, which is resistance. R stands for resistance. S stands for support. And your P is your daily pivot, right? So you see here that our daily pivot, we did not hold support, right? This was earlier, last night. This was last night. And it went ahead and rejected down, came back up, hit the pivot, rejected again, came to support 1, and now we're bouncing off support 1, trying to flip. And now why do I say flip? Because there's a lot going on, including, we're going to break down to show you on that 3-minute scale, what is a Bitcoin. So you got to get a good idea what I am looking at here. So as you can see here, this is what happened on Bitcoin. You know I love to take my trend-based fib extension. I go high, low, next high, and you get a good idea of what is happening in the charts. Again, this is on your 3-minute scale. So your 3-minute time frame. So there's, this is really quick action, but I'm trying to look to get a good idea what's going on. Now, this is on the 3-minute. Doesn't mean it fires correctly, that you're going to do everything. But any time frame that you trade on, you want to make sure that you're trading on that time frame consistently, right? Consistently. So one thing I want to check real quick, I want to show you something. So the other day, I know I got all types of charts here. the other day I did a volume check, and I'm glad Bush on XRP just pointed this out. We're going to go here, and I want you to see this breakout that we had. We had a breakout here the other day, okay, last week. Right here. Look at this volume, okay? This was all volume on the breakout when the news was reported that the SEC was denied, right? Their motion for fair defense against XRP, or fair notice defense with XRP. The motion was denied, and that is the kind of volume that you saw come in, and then it kind of died out. So, I don't want a new Brave. So, let's fast forward over, and you can kind of see here across the board, right? Our volume since then has kind of just, outside of that sell candles here, has just kind of subsided, right? So we got a good pump, and then even though there's been a correction, there hasn't been a lot of volume. So the reason that Bush on XRP pointed that out, because if we have a push in any direction without a lot of volume, be careful, because it's normally a market manipulation move, or the algorithm, really the market makers kind of getting you in. Just pump it up. I know they say it's regulated, but I think it's cheating. Anyway, they get it in, they pump it up, they get you to buy, there's no volume, and then they can flip that over and dump it on you. Mic volume? My volume went down on the mic? You can't. Can you hear me? Or no? I think he said, are you saying mic volume is down, or are you saying it looks like all my volume is good. I can still hear myself. Let me check. It's crypto. Yeah, mic volume went low. Maybe you just want to say volume went low at Bullish on XRP. Because I'll check it. Anyway, let's keep going. So that's what I want you to see. So be very, very careful. Now let's dip and dive into what I expected on XRP over the weekend, or actually just over last night, because we have been waiting for a move, which has not quite happened yet, but it kind of has. And what do I mean by that? This is where I was at Monday. Okay, Monday was this area right here. This was Monday. Okay, so waiting for some kind of double top. It was breaking up a channel. We looked like we had a wave one, but really it was just a 1, 2, 3 wave. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, right? This looks like 1, 2, 3 again. So we just had a bunch of 3 waves here, but in reality was a double top. That's what I saw here on XRP, which drew that out to waiting for 73.4, really 74 cents to come down. You see that red line? Comes all the way down. It works its way down. This is how well fibs work. Works its way down to what I always say, the 0.41414 is what I'm always looking for. I don't know why my mic volume went down. That's weird. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that's better. Maybe because I turned down my volume in my headphones. I don't know why the volume would go there. But now that you've pointed that out, I will not mess with the volume anymore. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your help on that. So you see here, it comes to the 4.414, which is normally a full extension of the move. Not meaning that it can't continue to go down, but you normally have some type of bounce. And when you bounce there, you normally head back to a rejection or another 4.4, normally the 1.414 is what I head to. Anyway, so I measure each move based on the time frame that I'm in, okay? So once we bounce, now let's zoom in some more. As you can see here, now it didn't play out all at once. It took some time. Double bottom, came down. You can see right there. There's that. You see that wick? That wick right there. Boom. Straight to the 414, which was 74 cents this morning, okay? So then we continue to ride up, and now I was looking for the full correction or a back test to see what happens. So now that's what we are waiting to play out now here on XRP. I still think that we are very, very bullish. Yeah, that's yoink. Okay, so I can get rid of that. So this is what we're looking at. Again, that wasn't a candle close, so I don't care. So we have the high, the next low. Let's just measure the whole thing out and then do the next higher high. Let's go there. Let's just measure this out completely. All right, so this is what we're looking. You're there because you did not do a candle close. This is where you are. I'm not gonna cheat myself. Okay, So right now we're trying to establish back on the 0.5 of that fib retrace. So if 75.8 holds right now, we are heading on to, I believe, is 76, which is not close, which is not bad, but that's really, really close. Everything is going, guys, really tight right now, really tight in your channel overall and the whole market. So I'm going to zoom out for you, and then we're going to move on. I want you to see. This is how tight everything's getting. Just a macro view, okay? So, oh, see, there it is. I knew it. Bitcoin right now, as I was waiting, I got knocked out of that short because it went up and knocked me out like the jerk that it is. And came down and back tested 38.6 so far. Look at that. Perfect. So the VPVR, there's our little sandcastle that I say. You see this range right here between 38.8 and 38.7, like it's a real tight range right now. Really, really tight range. So we are looking for a breakout. You see the wicks are coming in. Yep, there's a high sell volume there, but that just counteracted that high buy volume. So we are looking at some major volatility right now. Stay tight, hodl, and that's what we're looking at. Speaking of volatility, I think I posted this yesterday or a couple days ago, maybe last Friday. Of what I was expecting for Monero. This is another example of how the 4.414 plays out on the full extension. Okay, I'll show you again. You have your high, low, lower high, and it comes, whoop, boom. The 414, a little lower there, right? A little lower, but 166 came up, tested again. Look, what do I say? That 1.414 area of the retrace came back up to that area, 0.5, and then worked their way back down to back test, and it's up. So it's still expecting up, still looking back to double top to 208, so it's working its way back up. I got in my long there, down here, whoop, 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 a couple days ago, and then I got in some more again last night. I think 167 is where I got in last night. So somewhere in here, right before the time turned, 167, 176. Yeah, 176, not 167. Right in this area this morning. So this is what we are looking at for Monero, and the reason I keep pointing out Monero to you guys because I believe this is something that's going to pump with all the stuff going on around the world right now. It's considered a privacy coin. I'm just checking out what's going on in China tech stocks because China tech stocks are tumbling right now. Extremely, extremely tumbling, and we have to watch that. Remember, the Russian market, guys, is closed. We're going to go in the nickel market here in a second, right? China, you got Evergrande. They're defaulting. You got the NASDAQ in China tumbling. Well, the version of their NASDAQ in China tumbling. Tech stocks. Then you've got the C19 popping up again in China. 3,500 cases yesterday. The war, that means the war is probably close to being over. Possibly. But then we're going to switch back to the COVID narrative just in time for the summer. Are you guys ready? Are you ready for this? Because this is what we're looking at. I mean, how? How do I know? Look at oil. Oil is just donkeying on down, right? I've been waiting. I did not, I missed my short yesterday. So the close yesterday was right under the pivot, okay? We discussed this pivot, remember? Anything that you long, support, short resistance. Well, in an oil market closes at 4 p.m., okay? And I forgot because I was messing around looking at something else. Forgot to enter my short right before that. I was like, I need to enter my short. I didn't want to enter a short down here at 106. That makes no sense when I expect it to go to 111. My short was at 111. It went to 110.94. 110.94 and then turned around. And turned around so much that as it closed, it left a gap and opened. It opened lower, and it's just continued to go down to 96. So it's supposed to be 111. So, that's what, $19 difference there. I normally do about 250 to 500 barrels of oil short. Or long, so you do the math. I'm expecting my finish to be at 89.42, probably right at 88. Is the S2 pivot? It broke the S1. This is traditional, historical, so that's last week's pivot. This week's pivot, guys, is right here at 87, but it broke our parabolic curve as expected, and looks like it's going to finish its move down this week. Again, when oil is going down, the stock, the equities, crypto, we should hopefully be looking at a reversal going up. That's kind of how it's been the past few weeks, gold, wheat, and all those things. So that's what we are looking at there in those couple of markets. I hope that's pretty much the gist of where things are going in the TA world, because this is what I look at. We're still ranging again. A reminder, we're ranging, but I am ecstatic about what I think is coming. Like, we'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, with the breakout this morning, with Bitcoin moving forward, holding 38,000, that was very, very, very important, guys. Like, I don't know how to tell you how important. How important. Let me, and then I'm going to move on. Okay. Now, let me close all that out again. Guys, we were just right here. Okay. Simple as that. 37,500. Now, I'm going to take you over, just no other charts or anything. But we're right here. This is where we're sitting on support. And I'm just going to take you right on over here. Do you see this? This line. I'm just going to do that with my sniper. Right here. I'm going to put that in the center. I'm going to let you look at the lines left and to right of it. Take your sail. Go that way, go that way. Anything below that break is bad. I'm going to let you know that right now. If we break and close again below 37,000, you might want to exit a lot of positions. Why? Because we are going to head south. Do I see that? No. I'm not a, what do you call? I don't have ESP. I almost said I don't have ESPN. But I don't have ESP, but I do my best to predict things, and time is not really my thing. But on here, I need to tell you, this is what it looks like, right? That's insane. That is what all that looks like. Crazy, crazy insane, okay? But I'm expecting, as you can see, this green arrow to us to head to 48,000. As long as we hold, and I'll show you one more time, and you can see it now that I've really zoomed out. You see this 0.5 right here? That has to hold. If that breaks below, that means we break below a new low. Okay? And that low is 32,000. So if we reject off 0.5 again, we are heading towards that direction, which is just not good for anybody's mental being if we continue to stretch this out longer and longer. But as I see something like a Monero, 1, 2, it's on a parabolic 3 right now on the 15-minute, straight up. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Man, it's supposed to be Christ, crypto, and coffee. There we go. That's really what you guys want to look at. And I know, again, we're zooming out bigger. The next stop, we want to hold 38. We will probably get some resistance at 40. Back down to 39.5. Just going to show you that walk. 38 to 40, 39.5, up to 43. Or straight up to 43. Either way, that is what I am looking at. You can book that, sign it, and contract that. That is what I am looking at as long as 38.26 holds. And I'm going to swing trade that. I'm going to trade the heck out of those moves because you want easy volatility. Easy volatility is good to trade. Ranging volatility, hard to trade. Very hard to trade. Very, very, very hard to trade. So that is what we are looking at there. Like I said, Monero is something I am watching. And it came back tested. I actually drew this for somebody else the other day. This is what I was expecting to come down yesterday around 4 o'clock. It did not, or 1 o'clock. I said, okay, up, down, and then I said it should come into this area and back test. Well, I drew my parabolic, and look what it did. It continued on. I did not get in here. I waited. The back tested my 177.10. Here you go. It broke up, hit another resistance, then broke my parabolic curve, back tested my parabolic curve, and another trend line, which is what you're always looking at. My brother asked me, how am I able to see these swings? It's just patterns that I consistently see in the charts. Instead of trying to make the charts go in a certain direction, I just see what they do before they go in that direction I expect. And what it always does, it always pumps in the other direction, comes back down, and fires back up, right? So I said, this is what I'm expecting, but let me wait, because it never goes back straight to there. It wants to make you think you're going to get it. It wants to trap those longs, and it moves up. People longed right here, and it came down. So people are like, oh, shoot, I'm going to short. I'm going to get out of it, right? And then it broke back above that 50. Whoop. Oh, man, I'm going to long. Nope, dump. and then people got out. Well, this is my entry. So it filled automatically for me as I slept at 1 o'clock this morning. It filled. I did not. That's why I'm in it. It filled. And look, right to that line. Yoink. And off. And that's what I look for, right? So, that's why I have a Telegram group. That's why I do the TikToks and all that stuff. But just to kind of show you guys what I'm learning. It's not for signal calls. It's not for you to go make money off what I say. It's for you to go learn off what I say. Learn from what you're doing, compare the two, and see if you got someone to bounce some ideas off of, because that's what we all need when we're trying to trade, is to bounce ideas off each other, bounce our TA off each other, and most importantly, have community, right? This is the place for community. Christ in crypto and coffee, although it's decaf, in the morning. Yeah, I think I have another doctor's appointment coming up, speaking of decaf. They took away my caffeine, they took away my tomatoes, any kind of peanuts, any kind of spice, any kind of pepper, any kind of caffeine, any kind of fatty foods. Man, I can go on the list. It's really hard for me to eat now. I'm eating white sauce pizza and bread. But I don't even know if I can eat bread because it makes me have bumps in the back. I think it's the gluten in the back. I've been doing it for 20, 30 years in my life. And then I'm lactose intolerant. But people say I look young, and even though I'm almost 40. So I'll take that. I guess. Body falling apart. But I look young. I look healthy. And that's what's important to the people. Speaking of the people are wanting to know what's going on with Quant. I say it's on the road to 700. We are still in that downtrend, still respecting our upward channel, though, right, on our daily here. We're still respecting this. Our RSI is still down. We have not broken up to fire up. Again, everything is just resetting. Everything is resetting. Everything is resetting. So, speaking of resetting, make sure you guys join the Men's Tournament Championship. I do have a link. We're giving away XRP or some other cryptos, top 3. Go ahead and hit me up. I love doing March Madness. Go Illini, 4 seed in the tournament. So, with that being said, speaking of, let's hit some actual real news on that chart. So, let's hit that breaking news. All right. So before we actually go into what we are talking about on a whole topic, let's just jump into this part. I want to break 2 things down today to you, okay, to what's going on in the world. One of the things is this food shortage. Now, I'm not going to talk about what the U.S. government has been doing here in America for the food shortage, but I just want to point this out to you. Mainly because this is where they're going. They're going to hurt the food supply, the chain supply, your money, to make you depend. They are causing a crisis. Bitcoin's trying to go up. They are causing this crisis. And this is from Reuters. Exclusive. World faces food crisis during Ukraine war. Now, explain this to me. Now, this is something, I'm not a historian. I'm not a PhD in economics. I don't have a PhD in finance. I don't have a PhD in war. In fact, I don't have a PhD at all. But how does a war in Russia specifically, with only Ukraine, their neighbor, affecting a world food crisis 3 weeks into a war? Russia, Ukraine. Why does that affect the rest of the world? Let's figure it out. By the way, if you hear that beeping in the background, that's the guy who comes and move rocks. They're building the dart behind my house. That's the guy who moved rocks for an hour and a half every morning, only while I'm doing this show, and then we don't hear a sound from that guy specifically the rest of the day. But I want to point this out to you real quick so we can see invalidation. You see Bitcoin came down, hit a 3, and that was enough for it, and it returned. And once it broke this, that short, delete. It's done now. We are continuing at least this part of the portion to find out what's going on. So I'm going to go high, low, retrace, find out what's going on here. Boom, we just went straight to the 2.0. Came back tested the 5. Oh, you can see this play out live real quick. And then I'll go back to that Reuters article. Okay? You see that come down here? Break out above that area, close to the 1.414, right? That area is the C. Then it came back down, as it should. Normally, if I'm in a trade, this is where I trade. Okay? That 0.5 bounce right there, that's where I long. That is a long. Again, if I was trading, swinging right now. Am I in a long right now? Yes, I am currently in a long for XRP, XMR, and Bitcoin this morning, right? So this is what we see here. It bounces now directly to the 2.414. If I was in it, that's where I would take my profit on that swing. So you'd have a swing of 38,400, so 38.5, which I actually told my brother that I believed it was coming down to 38.5 again and to go long. I literally told him about 2 hours ago that was the trade. So it came down to 38.5, shot up to 38.39. I told you this is the swing we're looking for, 0.5 to 2.414. That, guys, normally right there is where you can get your trade in, okay? Again, I continue to see this going up to 39.95. So we'll see. Anyway, let's go back to that article talking about the food shortage, right? Thank you, Lee. I appreciate it. It says, love how you're explaining the parabolic curves. Yeah, so for me, that's important, to use all your tools. My brother asked me this morning, how am I making those decisions? And I was like, well, my fib, my pivots, my volume, right? I try to use all of the information that I have learned, that I have gathered, that you can gather as well, and kind of get the best idea. Now, can I guess correctly? You see, I use the word guess. I'm guessing. Everybody is guessing, just like you go play blackjack, right? Here's the house, here's the tools. What you're doing with blackjack and counting cards is technically you're guessing, even though it's math, right? But it doesn't guarantee you a win, but it helps you beat the house. And so our goal when we're trading against the exchange, against the market makers, is to help beat the house, right? We can beat the house in trading, but it takes effort. It takes focus, and it takes community. Because then the more minds that are looking at charts, the more minds that we can really break it down, the easier it is to think like the market makers. And that's why I love building my community with the Telegram cronies, with the New Creation cronies. Because then you can say, where is the food shortage for real? Because here in America, guys, they are burning crops. They are telling farmers to burn their crops and outlawing meat, right, in certain parts of the country. So they are creating a global food crisis. They are creating one. Bitcoin, 39,000 right now. 39,100. They are absolutely creating a crisis. A food global crisis. They want that. It says a global food crisis looms unless the war in Ukraine is stopped. So they're saying, that's right. So stop the war in Ukraine or everyone's going to starve in the world. Let's see why. I know there was a fertilizer push. Fertilizer is one of those things that if you're in the market, you get a long fertilizer. Any fertilizing companies? Actually, the wife told me recently, she sent me a thing and said 4 days ago, last Thursday, long fertilizer. I said, okay. 2 days later, all the fertilizers, Monday morning, fertilizer companies were all popped, right? All fired up. Bitcoin just hit that resistance. XMR, Monero also just hit resistance. Okay. So it says several of the Russians' richest businessmen have publicly called for peace. So the rich folks are calling for peace. So the whole war, and I'm going to move on because I just want to read a couple things. Sanctions that are coming and hitting Russia are not affecting Putin. They're affecting you and I, and they're affecting the Russian citizens. All the businesses pulling out of Russia, McDonald's, positive. The fast food, Coke, Pepsi, positive. That's all positive when you leave a country. McDonald's, soda, anything horrible for you that they say they care about you, but they feed you poison. Yeah, okay, they can leave. We don't care about them. But when they start to pull out the banks, right, the Western Unions, the way people move their money, they're not hurting the Russian president or the Russian oligarchs. They're literally attacking the people, right? Like if we're mad at President Biden, he goes to war and then the banks pull out, does that affect the president or does it affect you? There we go. There's the actual short playing out from 39 now. It's only down 100. It's not much, but got a little resistance here. We'll see what happens in the NASDAQ here at the intraday, looking for a scalp. But that's where it affects you, right? So how do we counteract that? Well, we see what they're telling us, and the reason we read the news here is to kind of counter trade. What's the mass media saying, right, to the masses, not the classes, because the classes, we go into the documents. But whenever I read articles, this is for the masses. right? For everybody that can open it. Now, a lot of articles are paid, so a lot of people can afford that. But this in general is what we do. So let's continue and just continue to educate ourselves. The United States and its European allies have cast Putin's invasion as an imperial-style land grab. In other words, just trying to go give me more land. They have sanctioned Russian businessmen, including EU sanctions on Melnichenko, frozen state assets, and cut off much of the Russian corporate sector from the global economy. Again, one of the victims of this crisis will be food and agriculture. I don't know what it is. I really think it's my cat. I really think so. I'm married into a cat. Aphmau, he's my little buddy. I can't breathe because I'm allergic to cats. And what cat hair and does to me is not meant to make me swell up. The hair comes in my throat, my eyes, and my nose, and it's causing me to cough a lot. I don't die anymore. I used to think I was going to die, but not anymore. So it says here, food war. Putin said last Thursday that food prices would rise globally due to soaring fertilizer prices. Right? So, fertilizer prices. It says Russia is a major producer of potash, phosphate, and nitrogen containing fertilizers. Major crop and soil nutritions. Eurochem, which produces nitrogen, phosphates, and potash, said it's one of the world's top 5 fertilizing companies. The war has already led soaring prices and fertilizers, which are no longer affordable to farmers. Now, here's my question. They keep blaming Russia for price hikes, food shortages, cyber attacks, banking issues, inflation. I don't know what else now, right? All these things that have been happening the last 2 years is now Russia's fault. Are you paying attention? It even says here, food supplies already disrupted by COVID-19 or even more distressed. They just said it. It was already, C-19 shut the world down. But now a war is going to raise prices? It says international food and feed prices could raise 20% of the conflict in Ukraine. Now let me ask you this. We are United States of America, and we are huge agriculture, right? We could do gas and oil and all those. We really don't even need exports from around the world. We don't. But we have certain parts of our country, people, politicians who want us to have imports from other countries, right? Why? Because our U.S. dollar was so high. Our U.S. dollar was so high compared to other currencies that it was cheaper for us to do imports. But now the dollar is falling. Therefore, it's becoming more expensive. So as people begin to look at food, fertilizer, the markets, right? What's going on to the U.S. dollar? What's going on to other people's money? You have things called short squeezes and long squeezes happening. Now, you guys remember the AMC, long squeeze, short squeezes, right? And then the hedge funds that went belly up and all that. Well, some things happened again last Tuesday. Okay? Last Tuesday, 18 minutes of craziness happened. 18 minutes. 18 minutes of craziness. The 18 minutes of trading chaos. And this is from the Bloomberg Business article. I'm going to read this article to you because a lot of people don't know. We don't really trade the nickel market here in the States per se, right? We don't. Well, why I want to show you, because one of the things you can trade in the nickel, like this is nickel spot right here on currency.com. This is a nickel spot. I want to show you. This was nickel March 1st. 24,000. Well, the nickel spot. Again, this is not the price of nickel, but the nickel spot on currency, okay? $24,132. That was a spot. Let's fast forward 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later, from March 1st. Nickel is up 157%. Nickel spot from 23,200 to 61,700. We have an ABC correction coming in. I think we're going to come on back down to 38.8 now. Just giving you a heads up. I know that's $100 swings, but that's what I look for. So What really happened? It says when the commodity price went vertical last week, the metals industry plunged into turmoil, not seen since the tin crisis of 1985. Again, all these things are popping. Do these things pop like that in a bull market? Does oil fire up like that in a bull market? Wheat, gold, currencies crash in a bull market? Does the NASDAQ up 2% one day, down 5% the next day, up 3% one day, down 5% the next day, down 7 weeks out of 8 weeks, the NASDAQ? Does this thing happen in a bull market? Pay attention. Pay attention. It was 5:42 a.m. on March 8th, last Tuesday, 1 week from now, in London, when the nickel market broke. At that time of day, blurry-eyed traders are typically just glancing as they swig coffee on their way to the office. I am one of those. I just woke up actually at that time. That's around the time I wake up. On this day, however, metal traders across the city were glued to the screen watching the price action on the electronic market, which was already open to accommodate Asian trading, which is true, right? All the markets go Asia, UK, America, okay? Nickel prices usually move a few $100s per ton in a day. For most of the past decade, they traded between $10,000 and $20,000. For the last 10 years, we've seen a $10,000 to $20,000 range. Okay, man, it's a Bitcoin range. Yet the day before the market had started to unravel with prices rising 66% to $48,000. Now the traders watched a mixture of horror and grim fascination as the price went vertical. Horror. Why are they upset about horror? You know why? Someone's shorting it. Someone's shorting the market. Someone's shorting the market. Hold on. I discussed this. Discussed this the other day. Okay. Literally last week, I discussed this, that in September 2020, JP Morgan had to pay almost $1 billion from nippling precious metal markets. Specifically, something like nickel. Okay? So when you see someone say they were panicking, it's because the banks are shorting you. Banks are shorting you. Already at an all-time high by 5:42 a.m., I remember watching this. I turn on Squawk Box as I get ready in the bathroom. It lurched higher. It's hit 30,000 in a couple minutes. 6 a.m. The price of nickel passed $100,000 a ton. Do you see that? 100,000. It happened in 10, 20 minutes. In 20 minutes. And they're saying Bitcoin can't do. Bitcoin or literally XRP can't make a move like that. This is a nickel market. They're saying that moved like that. That's a lot of money coming through. Are you telling me that money can't be added to XRP overnight? And it can't fire up like that? Come on. It says, for participants in commodities exchanges, the price rally is not necessarily good news. Here's why. Miners, traders, and manufacturers often use the market to make short bets. Ha ha ha. Short bets. That is to make money when the prices fall. And when those ragers move violently in the opposite direction, they can be hit with huge margin calls or requests to put down more cash on their trades. The head of one of London's largest metal brokers recalls feeling sick as he watched the moves, realizing what the spike in price would mean for his company. The market, the global industry. Those 18 minutes will haunt me, he says, who wasn't authorized to speak publicly. So he can't even say. But here you go. You saw it move. There's an A and B come down. It's working. Looks like it's working on its B wave right now. So nickel looks like it's about to roll over. Well, speaking of roll over, Bitcoin's working, trying to hold. It's now flipped 39,000, which is my 2.414. And it's holding. Trying to hold anyway. On one measure. I flip it over and look at something else. It rejected off the 2.414. Trying to hold at 39,000 still. Different measurement, right? But still trying to hold over that area. So we'll see what happens there. So it says here, nickel price. Nickel's 250% price spike is a little more than 24-hour period. 250%. In 24 hours, though. I mean, this whole thing is insane. Yeah, I mean, Lee, when nickel pops and all these other popping like that, that's a short squeeze inflation. They've been holding it down for so long that commodities start to pop. When commodities stop to pop, that means money is moving from the markets into what they consider more safe assets, risk-off assets, right? I just think this is crazy. 24 hours. Billions of dollars in losses for traders. Didn't they make fun of crypto people like that? Liquidation. You're longing too long. Stop longing your margin. So when the whole market goes down, it's because everyone's margin trading and longing and shorting. Don't short Bitcoin, right? That's what they say. But that happens in every market. And then they're looking, okay, I wish I could trade nickel. I can't trade nickel. But if I could trade this, that would be insane right now. Because it's so crazy that the London Metal Exchange suspended trading for the first time in 30 years. One, this is what's crazy. They don't like the way they're going. They don't like the fact that people are losing money. They stopped the trading. Hey, Lee, you remember March 2019? About 3 o'clock in the morning, you got a call from me. Hey, man, get out of your long for Bitcoin. This thing's going down. They didn't stop the markets when Bitcoin dumped, when XRP dumped to 11.5 cents. They didn't stop the markets that day because those are true free-ish markets, right? If you're going to lose money, let it go. That's not what they did here. They suspended it. It marked the first major market failure since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, showing the removal of one of the world's largest exporters of resources from the financial system in the space of weeks is having some kind of effect all around the world. The spike was driven in large part to a, here we go, short squeeze, which we just discussed, right? Just discussed. The short squeeze centered on the Chinese tycoon Zhang, however you say his last name, who had amassed a big wager that nickel prices would fall through his company. On Monday, a week after trading had been suspended, that guy announced a standstill agreement with J.P. Morgan Chase. Look who pops up again. Right here. With J.P. Morgan Chase. Hey, we'll cause the problem, then we'll come and be your solution. And other banks that would allow it to maintain its short position. So you're so far back. Hey, Mr. China guy, you're so far back. And you lost so much money so far in this short squeeze that, you know what? Come to the bank. We'll use the people's money to help you continue to short the people that are longing it. Like this is really what happens. The banks came in to help this major billionaire keep his major money by taking your money. If you use, I don't bank with Chase, but whoever banks with Chase or Chase's affiliates, taking your money, their reserve, and then backing him up on paper. They don't actually physically give him the money. They just put some digital numbers in there, right? And back it up. Adding more to the inflation issue. Printing more money. It says in a squeeze, rise in a squeeze, so you guys know. And I know we know this on this channel, right? In a squeeze, rising prices put traders betting on a drop in an ever tougher financial position, forcing them or brokers and banks and businesses on their behalf to buy the asset. A trade known as short, covering that can drive prices even higher. So when they do a short squeeze, right, a lot of money's coming in to knock that person out. But then that person is close to being knocked out. So instead of using their own money to cover what they're lost, like right now, if this whole market goes down or up or whatever, and I lose all, I get really down, 99% my margin. Who am I going to call? Hey, PNC. So I was trading some crypto here, and you know what? The market decided to do a correction. I was over leveraged. I went long. I did 100 Bitcoin short, right at 38,000, and then it shot up to 40. And now I'm down $200,000, and I need some help here, Mr. PNC Bank. Can you help me out? They're going to look at me and laugh. What do you mean? That's not our care. Why do we care? You know why they care about this? Because these banks are in bed with the hedge funds. They're all making money together. In fact, the hedge funds that say they work for you really work a part of the banks. I know this as we tried to become a bank down the road. We're going to, go from where we are, research companies and stuff, into financial advisors, wealth management, crypto exchange, into a bank, right? This is where we go, and we know we have to work with banks to get there. For now, because we want to be a crypto bank, right? For now, we have to work with these old traditional banks. But that's not really, they're not really here from you. They're not hear from you. So let me play this for you real quick. It's a 2-minute discussion, and you can hear how they discuss it, and then we'll finish this off.
Nickel prices went up 250%.
Let's turn now our attention to today's Bloomberg Big Take, which takes a look at the 18 minutes of trading that broke the nickel market. When the commodities price went vertical last week, the metals industry was plunged into turmoil, not seen since the tin crisis of 1985. Joining us now is Bloomberg Energy and Commodities reporter Jack Farchi. Jack, how serious then was the impact? What a remarkable week. How serious was the impact for the financial sector from what we've seen across the nickel space, and how dangerous is this, or was this moment for the LME?
Well, it was a hugely dramatic. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest moves we've ever seen in any commodity market. Nickel prices went up 250% in the space of about 24 hours. And really, where this caused a huge amount of pain was in margin calls.
So we just
any
discussed.
Company that is involved in the physical nickel industry often hedges their price exposure with a short position.
Now, every nickel company that is in the industry, you hear that? They're selling nickel to you for a price. And then they collect your money, give you that nickel, and then take that money into the market and short you. They short it. They literally thank you for your money. Now we're going to bet against you. That's legal. And then when that bet against you goes wrong, the bank, which you pay because they charge you for your money in the bank, gives the money to the hedge funds to continue to short you. So you're long on a position, you're hodling, and then you got the people who are telling you to long it and advising you. Your wealth advisors, your financial advisor says, give me your money every week. I'll charge you a fee and a premium, and I'll make you money if you hold this through retirement for the next 30, 40 years. But then they short you. They short you. But you pay them, for lack of a better word, excuse my language here, you paid those hedge funds to screw you. And you accept it. In fact, people like it.
On the LME, when the price goes up, they have to pay up cash in margin calls. And the margin calls across the whole metals industry were insane on Monday night, and would have been even worse on Tuesday, but the exchange cancelled a whole series of trades. But what we're talking about is many, many, many billions of...
Okay, it says here's the banks that hedge fund guy that we talked about work. Standard Charter. I think pretty much we recognize them for Ripple Labs. Looks like BNP Paribas, not familiar with them. But then JP Morgan Chase.
Dollars of margin calls across the metals industry. It's caused a huge amount of pain. We reported this morning in our story, 4 or 5 of the brokers on the LME would have failed if the exchange hadn't cancelled those trades. So I think we did come pretty close to the end.
The world's biggest nickel producer, was shorting his own product. And this is legal. The SEC says this is legal, but you buying XRP is not. You spending your, comparatively, right? To me, $500 is a lot of money. Like, I need $500 to pay a bill. My gas bill, by the way, for February, from January 14th to February 14th was $880. I just paid that yesterday. That was my gas bill. Insane. This guy here, apparently that was legal because the war. So my gas bill went up. But this guy here who, his whole business, his whole model to you and I is I create nickel, I sell nickel to you because it has value. So buy this nickel from me, value, value, value. But when you buy it from me, I'm going to short 150,000 tons of nickel. You want to know why you're not making any money in the nickel that you bought? Because you gave it to me to short it so I can make money and eventually give you something in 40 years if you're still alive.
Edge.
It is remarkable, as you say. What happens next? Do we have any clarity on what the roadmap is next for this market, and when do you expect it to reopen?
Well, as we've been reporting for the last week, the real driving factor behind this squeeze in nickel is a short squeeze on the position of this giant Chinese nickel company, Tsingshan, owned by this rather amazing and very risk-hungry entrepreneur. I think the key to getting the nickel market reopened again is going to be a resolution of his position. He was struggling to make margin calls to his banks last week. That's one of the key reasons behind the short squeeze that took place. So we need to see some kind of deal, either for him to reduce his position or for him to get financing from somebody in order for the market to be able to reopen. And so far, we don't know when that's going to come.
Did you hear that? In order for the market to reopen, that guy has to get money from the banks, or the market's not going to open. Because of one guy, the whole market stays shut. Nobody makes money. Why? Because he was shorting. So since he lost money, they said, nope, shut the whole thing down. One guy on the world stage has shut the market down for nickel spot. Why? Because he owes money. And you and I pay for it. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? What are your thoughts? Really, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about that? Even says here, he didn't think the rally would last. He increased his short position in the London Metal Exchange. I wonder if I can, let's try that. Let's try the London Metal Exchange for nickel. Let's see. LME. Do I get LME? Do I get London? Well, there's Lime. London Metal Exchange. This might be it right here. Nope. London Metal Exchange. Let's see. Dewey, decimal point. I don't see that here. I'll have to look more into that. I do know the spot that we had, though, not on here. So, before I get out of here, on this day, you see we're still rejecting 2.414 for Bitcoin, and we're just kind of working our way down. Same thing here. As we close on this 10 o'clock this morning, 11 o'clock in New York, oil's sitting under 98. We're just chilling. We're chilling as we watch the rest of the world do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and steal from whoever they want. I don't even know what to say to that. It just blows my mind. Like, as I really research into what happened and I read this too, one guy shut the whole market down? One guy. So you're telling me right now, if Elon Musk sold all his shares of Tesla, the NASDAQ would stop running for weeks. That is equivalent. They'd shut down the NASDAQ because Elon Musk just took all his money or owed money, whatever it may be. One guy. That's what this is. Is that fair? Nope. Is it real though? Yes. Will it change? Nope. Will they switch the rules to continue not to get caught? You know, like, hey, don't tell us what we're doing. You're going to go to prison if you tell us what we're doing. Well, there you go. Let's see here. It says, last but not least, investors who booked trades during the KAX session in the early hours of Tuesday were furious. Among them were some of the biggest names on Wall Street. Executives from Goldman Sachs voiced their displeasure at the decision on a call with Chamberlain. Executives at Tower Research Capital, one of Wall Street's oldest electronic market makers, reined in trading activities on the London Market Exchange and put its membership in the exchange on review. You got caught. They have to once you get caught doing what you do on the public level, then all the people who are doing the same thing come and shake their fist at you. To finish it out, Zhang's short position now racked up billions of dollars in losses. Billions. Where's this money going to come from? Where is this money going to come from? We'll see. We'll see. But in the meantime, it's 10 o'clock. And Bitcoin just looks like it's trying to fail right now. So if this fails, I'm not too scared yet. Remember, this is what has to hold. That is my last thing of the day, is to let you know, as long as Bitcoin is above 38,200 and holding daily close, we're still very bullish. The moment we close on the daily below 38,000, I need to recheck all my positions and I'm flipping short or selling. Got to make money both ends, right? So be careful. Don't get too excited. Don't get too bullish. Watch oil. Watch the NASDAQ. Watch the intraday trading. Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow, and we'll talk about that with the Fed hikes. Besides that, guys, it's your boy Christian Israel, and you are tuned into Christ and Crypto in the Morning. This is not only a place where we talk, obviously, Christ and crypto, but this is a place where we discuss finance, world politics, and world events that affect not only your pockets and your investments, but you mentally and spiritually, where we try to just kind of focus on what matters, and that is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I do not have the time that I normally do to go through some scriptures for the day, but I will say, if you want to support this channel, please go ahead and download or buy or email me for my book, Learning to Love in the Wilderness. This is not a crypto book, but this is a 40-day journey of discovery and learning to love myself by accepting the love of Jesus. Not just believing, but accepting, right? You have to accept what he says, not what the world says. So if you want to help support the channel, you can go buy this, Google it. It's on Amazon, eBay, Barnes & Noble, wherever you get books, Christian books. You can get it all a lot of places. If you just want a free copy, shoot me an email, Charles@New Creation Capital. Yep. And that's where you can get this for free if you just want a free copy to support. But if you want to support, go ahead and drop those dollars. I get a little bit per book. I guess the NCAA tournament starts tonight, guys. Yep, the first four. So after that, we'll go ahead and get those brackets in. Remember that I will be doing a crypto giveaway. We'll announce it tomorrow. We'll get the brackets going. Those brackets will close on Thursday morning. So a couple more days to get in there and get it going. I'll drop them in the New Creation Telegram group today. Links to it. Besides that, I think it's 10:03. It's time to go. I got some things to do. So good luck today, guys. I love you so much. Also remember, God loves you so much. He loves you so much that he gave his only begotten Son to whoever believes in him. Whoever confesses with their mouth and believes in their heart that Jesus Christ is their Savior, that he was raised from the dead and resurrected for our sins. Nothing we can do, but as a free gift from God to be redeemed, to come back into his presence, to be saved. We need a Savior. But I can't make that decision for you. Only you can. So I pray that you continue to do what is best for you. But God is already giving you that gift, guys. So thanks a lot so much again. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Bullish on XRP, for coming on in here today. Leo, Bullish on XRP, Alex Diaz, riding that wave. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me again. This is your boy Christian Israel, and I will catch you tomorrow like we do every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. here on Christ and Crypto. Until then, guys, remember, I love you. God loves you. You are loved. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and do the thing that people do on social media. At Twitter, at TikTok, New Creation Capital. Let us know, guys. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have a great day. Later, guys.
On the one who is the author.
picture of the pride. I'm caught up in your love. Yeah, my mind is only focused on you. Nothing else in this world will do. I'm past distortion, looking at truth. It's true, it's true. My mind is only focused on you. I'm past distortion, looking at you. It's true.